and goes like that, always a fracture, a root. It's a road. So what is very important is that for be good must be a road to a strategic point. If the bottom were a very bad terroir, we don't need to have road. Road is only useful if we have a terroir in the bottom part.
You want a road to heaven, not to hell.
Yeah.
I'm One Wine Dude, Joe Roberts, 1WineDude.com, blah blah blah. You all know that stuff. This guy's more interesting than I am. So I'm here I'm here at Benziger in beautiful Sonoma with Mike Benziger. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi everybody, my name is Mike Benziger, and I'm the general manager of Benziger Winery, and I'm one of the luckiest guys that you've probably ever had a chance to talk to, because I get to live and work in this place right here that I call my office.
It's pretty stunning. Yeah, it is pretty cool, I have to admit. You have me next to you too, so I don't know if that brings the luck down.
No, way up.
Way up.
Way up, yeah.
Sputtering me up now. And you have a very special guest here this week, and no, it's not me. It's a guy named Dr. Pedro Parra.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I thought it would be interesting to tell everybody in One Wine Dude land, which is somewhere beyond your tanks over there, what he's doing here.
Yeah. Well, Pedro Parra, and I thought it was kind of cool too that his last name, Parra, means grapevine in Spanish. You know? Instantly,
How fortuitous.
Instantly I knew we had the right guy. Anyway, Pedro is one of the very, very few terroir consultants in the world. And so we're lucky enough to have him come here and visit us once a year. And what his job is to help us identify the uniqueness and distinction that we have in all of these little patches of land that we farm. So even though the properties that we farm might look to be homogeneous, when you actually get out on the land and you feel the climate around you, you feel the sun, you look underneath the soil, there is lots of differences. And so with Pedro's help, we're here to figure out how these differences work and how we can mine these differences and get them into a bottle of wine, so that we can make a bottle of wine more expressive, more interesting, more exciting.
Now, since he's been here, has anything jumped out at you, even just this week, about what you might be tweaking or changing based on what you're learning now? You're digging into the ground, kind of looking under the covers.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that just kind of like, boom, you know, just blew me away was when he told me, he said that, Mike, he said the soils everywhere in the world are the same. Now, you know, I mean,
I know a lot of French guys would disagree with that.
I mean, that means the guy in France is farming the same soils as me, you know. I mean, I don't know if that made me feel good or bad. But, you know, once he explained it, you know, he said that the first maybe foot of soil or a foot and a half of soil is the same all over the world. So if your grapevines only grow in that foot and a half of soil, they're going to taste like everybody else's. And so that's why you kind of see this kind of commodity style kind of forming around the world, where Cabernet tastes the same whether you're
contributing factors.
Yeah, whether you're farming it in Australia, California, or France, is because the vines are really just using the soil as a vessel. And so Pedro showed us that the real zip code or the real distinction lies in the sublayers. And so if you can farm in a way, if you can, you know, practice your farming practices are done in a way that can encourage that deep root growth, then you can get down to places where the flavor differences exist, and then also get down to places where there's a permanent source of water, so the vines can grow in their own natural cycle, and not a cycle decided upon when man wants to irrigate it. Right. And that way you're able to get wines that I think are the most honest, the most authentic, not perfect, but honest.
Right. Now, you've compared, in a very short amount of time that I've been here, you've compared farming practices in the vineyard to HDTV, chefs, cooking shows, MRI and medical diagnoses. I have to look at my notes here, and windshield wipers, and that's just the ones I caught. What's your record for metaphors in a row?
Shoot, I don't know, but I love metaphors, and you know, I think that you know, being some of these practices in biodynamics can get esoteric, And so if you can you wrap them in a metaphor or a story, I think that, I don't know, they help me understand it better.
So do you have a metaphor for the music of Rush, the greatest band of all time?
You know what? I don't have a metaphor for that band because that's not my favorite band of all times.
Oh, I'm gonna go drink your wine.
Game over. All right, we're going to find some
Hey,
good
thanks,
music.
Les.
It might be in the vineyard. In case just it's
That would
a
be
question
funny,
or
actually,
something.
if you punch me. That would be awesome.